Hello everyone, hope you've been doing well. My name is Patrick Huang and I am the tournament director of the Victoria Junior Chess Club. Today we'll be looking at some games and instructive moments played at the 2021 Island Junior Blitz Open, held on Sunday, September 26th. The first game is between Cohen Holmgren playing black and Vishy Kodali playing white. In this position, black is much better. He has more active pieces and he's up by a couple of pawns. In these sort of situations, white can really only hope for one thing, a back rank checkmate. Notice that black's king is smothered in by his own pawns on h7, g7, and f7. So his king is unable to escape, which means white will be able to perform a back rank checkmate if black isn't careful. So here white plays queen d7, setting a trap and threatening to play queen e8 checkmate, and black plays queen takes, bishop c2. Queen e1 check, king b2, and then here black plays h6. So black wants to move his king out and get a safe square for his king. Unfortunately, this is the wrong square. So the h7 square is actually being controlled by the bishop right now. Instead, black has to play g6. As a general rule of thumb, you want to create luft, a safe spot for your king, on the opposite color of your opponent's bishop. So if they have a light squared bishop, create a safe dark square for your king. If they have a dark squared bishop, create a safe light square for your king. In this case, white's bishop is light squared, so g6 is better than h6. And if white plays queen e8 here, black can just play king g7. If black plays h6 here, which he plays in the game, queen e8 is now checkmate because the h7 square is controlled. So from this game, we find that you should always create luft for your king. A safe square for your king will often be incredibly helpful, especially in an endgame or in a late middle game, where your opponent, you don't have as many pieces in the back rank or protecting your king. And make sure that safe square for your king is the opposite color as your opponent's bishops. So here, you have to play g6, so you have a dark squared escape square for your king. Next is this game in between Emilian Holmgren playing white and Luke Fan playing black, and it highlights an extremely common idea. Here the black rook is defending the black knight, so the black rook on b6 is defending this knight, which means that if white can make this rook move, then they'll be able to take the knight for free. And with that in mind, white plays knight c4, which is an excellent move. It attacks the rook, and now black has to either move this rook or get the rook taken. Removing the defender is what this is called. This rook is defending the knight, so you're removing the defender. It's a super common tactic, and you'll find that you can win lots of material with it, and it's definitely an important concept to remember. So in the game, black plays rook b8, which gives white a free knight. If black decides to defend the knight, then white will be able to take the rook and win in exchange. In this position, black is completely winning Cypress Curry against white, Luke Fan, but both sides are pretty low on time. So black starts off with an excellent plan. So first he promotes his pawn to a queen, and now he slowly boxes the king in. So every time the king moves, the queen follows. So the idea is to always stay a knight jump away from the king, and now the queen is able to cut off the king slowly. So the king moves here, and the box shrinks. King moves here, the box shrinks. And this is a really quick and easy way to checkmate with a king and a queen against a king. But you do have to watch out for one trick. So here, and now black has successfully cut off white's king to the very edge of the board. And all black needs to do now is bring the king over and checkmate white. But black makes a mistake in time pressure and plays queen b6, and now white's king has nowhere to move and isn't in check either. This is stalemate and the game is drawn. So whenever you're completely winning, make sure you don't stalemate your opponent. But the queen technique demonstrated in this game is excellent until the very end. Just make sure that the opponent's king has at least one square to move to. So here, black just has to play king g4, and then just slowly walk his king over. And that's an easy checkmate. And white's king can only just shuffle back and forth while he waits for black's king to walk over. And finally, we'll look at this position from Vishy Kodali as white and Emilian Holmgren as black. Here white played g4, and this is a big mistake. You usually don't want to push the pawns in front of your king because they're there to protect your king from danger, and if you move them away, then your king is all alone. White should have instead played knight f4, and he has a pretty good position. Black has also moved the pawns in front of their king, so white's knight is quite powerful. It controls many key squares like these squares, and you can see there's a lot of weaknesses here, especially light squared ones. And this is because white has also pushed these pawns. But instead, white plays g4, black plays bishop e6, white plays b4 here, and black plays f5. And this is a great move by black. They take advantage of white's overextended g4 pawn, and white can't take because the pawn is pinned to the king. Instead, white will have to lose a pawn. And now white's king is now completely open, and it gets checkmated very quickly without the protection of its army. So white plays king f1, takes, knight g3, takes, knight takes e4, and black plays queen g2, checkmate. So the most important lessons here are to make sure that to not push the pawns in front of your king forward, as it'll create weaknesses that your opponent can exploit to checkmate you, and to bust open your opponent's king if you're the one that's attacking. All in all, this was a great tournament. The games are high quality and always close. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something today, and I'll see you at the next tournament.